Many of us feel like we have the biggest problems in the world until we listen to others tell their story. She is called Maritha, and this is her mother. But hold on, what you're about to hear will shock you. She has been taking care of her mother since she was 8 years old. And today she is 20 years old, which means that her mother has been laying on this bed for 12 years, and she has never been off this mattress since then. Yeah, I know all of us have many questions right now. Where are Maritha's siblings? Where is her father? How do they even get food or even manage to pay bills? Does Maritha even go to school? What is her mother suffering from? Well, this is her story. They were a happy family about 14 years ago. Maritha's parents were happily married, and they managed to have 2 children. They gave birth to a boy, and a few years later, Maritha was born. This means that we're a simple and happy family of 4. Maritha and her elder brother went to school, and both their parents were working on a daily basis. Honestly, they weren't rich. But were they not complaining because they managed to pay all their bills and life was quite fair? A year later, their father got sick. It started like something that was not that serious, but it later became more and more serious until her father couldn't walk. She says that he started vomiting blood and his legs were getting bigger and bigger. They later rushed him to the hospital, but the doctors couldn't find out what he was suffering from, and all tests turned out to be negative. Since he was not getting help from the hospital, they decided to bring him back home. Unfortunately, shortly after he was brought back home, he passed on. This was very sad, but they had to accept what had happened and actually move on. It was now Maritha's mother and her children. She worked as hard as she could to take care of her children, and she did this for a few months, but after then, she couldn't anymore because she also fell sick the same way her late husband did. This scared her and the children as well. They couldn't wait for it to be serious. So as soon as she started showing the same signs like their father did, they rushed her to the hospital for treatment and know what was the matter. It all started as pain in my legs, and the pain kept on spreading to more parts of the body. Before I knew it, I couldn't walk anymore. The doctors also couldn't tell what I'm suffering from. The doctors carried out a serious checkup to find out what she was suffering from. Unfortunately, just like their father, they also couldn't find what was wrong with her body either. This was even more scary. She claimed to have a lot of pain, and all the doctors could do was give her painkillers. I had land, but I sold it all so that I could get treatment. But it all failed, and I'm still in too much pain. They carried her back home, and this was 12 years ago. Ever since then, she has never managed to wake up from this bed. By then, Maritha was only 8 years old. Her brother was 12. Now he was the one in charge. Both of them dropped out of school as soon as their mother got sick because they couldn't afford school's fees anymore. Besides that, there was no way they could go to school because Maritha had to stay home taking care of their mother while her brother goes out to work and gets some money to buy food and more medicine, which is literally just painkillers. After Dad died, Mom got sick, and that was the turning point of our lives. We had a good life before, but now life turned upside down, and we are doing anything in our power to save our mother's life, because she is all we have left. This is how they were surviving until her brother couldn't get money anymore. This was so because he was now just 14, and everyone refused to hire him since he was a minor, and he was still young for some kind of jobs since they required a lot of energy. He was at home for about another year, and when he turned 15, he decided to go to the city and look for something to do, since he believed that in the city, there were a lot of job opportunities and he couldn't fail to find one, since he was ready to do anything to earn money. He promised his sister and mother that he was going to struggle in the city and send them the money he earned. For this family, he was the only hope they had. The next morning, he was prepared and left for the city. Unfortunately, things did not turn out like they expected. Life in the city was even harder. He knew no one in the city, and instead of sending them money, he needed it to also survive. He couldn't even make a coin for a very long time. My brother is not here anymore. He moved to the city to seek for a job, but he is also not fine at all. He calls me on the phone sometimes to ask how Mom is doing. He is also suffering, but he sends us like $1 or $2 sometimes. But I know life is also very hard on him. Maritha knew that her brother was struggling and he was not yet successful. She now had to step in and try her luck too. She had to also start looking for jobs in the neighborhood. It was not easy, but she sometimes managed to get food. When I go to look for a job, I leave my mother alone in the house. I hate doing that, but it's the option I got. If I stayed by her side all the time, we would both starve to death. She washes clothes for people, digs for them on their farms, works on building sites, and a lot more. She says that she is willing to do even more, as long as she is able to buy food and medicine for her mother, since she is not all willing to give up on her mother at all. Today, she is 20 years old, and she's been taking care of her mother for 12 years now. I have been sick for 12 years now. Honestly, I don't know what to expect anymore. I'm worried, and I keep asking myself, who is going to take care of my children when I'm gone? According to her, she hopes that her mother could get treatment in a better hospital in the city, because she has hope that maybe there are better doctors who can treat her. She says that she used to get help from a few family relatives and friends, but it has been very long because at some point they also got tired of helping, and she really understands and doesn't blame them. She is only hoping that her mother gets better. Our Heavenly Father understands our disappointment, suffering, pain, fear, and doubt. He is always there to encourage our hearts and help us understand that He's sufficient for all of our needs. If you want to help Maritha's mother get advanced treatment, please donate via the GoFundMe link in the description of this video and pinned in the top most comment. Thank you for watching. This is the Intax. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.